Hi, today I'm going to make my chocolate raspberry overnight oats. They're high in protein and a great breakfast to eat while you're on the go. They keep well in the fridge for about 3 to 5 days if you wanted to bulk prepare. So first things first, we're going to look at the types of oat to use. And while it's soaking in the fridge for any length of time, even 24 hours, these are the best oats to use. They're large flake rolled oats. Whereas the other one, this one is for when you're cooking oatmeal in the microwave that takes a minute. These are quick oats. So we're going to be using the bigger ones for this recipe. Right now, these are the containers I have. And you can do it in a jar or you can do it in any kind of container that will fit the amount of space that the recipe needs. So we're starting with 1/3 of a cup of these large flake oats. Next, we're going to move on to the dry ingredients, and I'm going to add 16 grams of chocolate protein powder. It's about a tablespoon and a little bit. So I put 16 grams into each container. And the next dry ingredient I'm going to use is cocoa powder. Now you want the darkest, richest cocoa powder you can get because it's tastier. 1 tablespoon each. Usually following that, I give the dry ingredients a little mix. So this is a sugar-free recipe, and the protein powder that has stevia in it is going to be sweetening it. This doesn't really have to be mixed. Next step for added protein, we're going to go in with some 0% Greek yogurt. Plain, of course, so there's no sugar in this either. And for the Greek yogurt amount, I'm going to do 70 grams. And this gives the overnight oats kind of a pudding consistency. There we go. There's 1. 2. I'm doing it pretty exact because it's going to be logged in MyFitnessPal. So I want to make sure all of the macros are correct. And then, not pictured, here is some soy milk. So you can use almond milk. If you want lower calories, you can use almond milk, but I prefer to use soy milk because soy milk has protein, whereas almond milk does not. And it's also very low calorie, where 1/3 of a cup I'm going to be using is 33 calories, so that's not too bad. This does have a little bit of sugar. Now it's time to stir each of these, and that's actually the most tedious part. Like, making these takes up to 30 minutes when I'm making them, so just stir them in to get all of the dry incorporated with the wet. I use a spatula because it gets stuck on the spoon, and I just like to use 1 spoon for the mixing. And I check on the sides of the container what's sticking to the sides. You can see there's some dry stuff there, so you gotta mix it in. Mix it in, mix it in. Look how dark and chocolatey that looks. This is really good. And it looks like pudding. So I take a spatula and I get that off of the spoon. so that we can keep the nutrition information exact per serving. This one is going to be the trickiest to mix. After I finished mixing these, they look like yummy chocolate pudding here. And I've got some frozen red raspberries. You can see they're really nice. And this brand has really good quality in frozen fruit. There's no moldy one. There's no... It's just really good quality. So I put a lot in here. This one I have to kind of push it down and go in with some more. And then this one I do about that much. So I use about a whole bag of this per recipe. And then what I do, I'm gonna just make some room, push these down. And then I'm gonna add 1 tablespoon of dark chocolate. So these are fancy dark chocolate chips I got with 53% minimum cocoa solids. So these are fancy, but you can use cookie chocolate chips, semi-sweet chocolate chips, any chocolate chips. You don't have to use chocolate chips. If you want to make this 90 calories lighter, you can omit the chocolate chips. The total recipe has 415 calories, and I believe it's about 25 grams of protein. So if you'd like to make it a 315 calorie meal, take out the chocolate chips. And that's how you make overnight oats. I'm going to leave them in the fridge overnight, and my family loves them.